If you think Dementors are fiction, look at this. Drifting through pitch black water is a shape that doesn't swim, doesn't chase, and doesn't even look alive. It's just a floating cloak, no face, no eyes, no movement that looks intentional, just fabric-like shadows slowly breathing through the abyss. This is the giant phantom jelly. From tip to tip, it can stretch over 10 meters wide. Wider than a bus, longer than most rooms you've ever been in. Yet despite its size, it's one of the rarest large animals on Earth. In more than 100 years, humans have seen it fewer than 120 times. At first glance, it looks harmless. There are no stingers whipping through the water, no flashing colors, no sudden bursts of speed. In fact, it doesn't even look like it could hurt anything at all. It just drifts, slowly, patiently, but that's the mistake. Because unlike almost every other jellyfish, this one doesn't poison its prey. It doesn't shock them, it doesn't stab or paralyze them. It does something far worse. It waits. And when something swims too close, the ocean's Dementor doesn't attack. It embraces. Most jellyfish kill the same way. They reach out with thin, hair-like tentacles loaded with venom, brushing against prey like living electric wires. One touch, and it's over. Pain, paralysis, then death. That's the rule of the jellyfish world. The giant phantom jelly doesn't follow it. Instead of tentacles, it has 4 massive structures called oral arms. And calling them arms almost feels wrong. They don't look muscular, they don't look sharp, they look like folded sheets of velvet. Thick, ribbon-like curtains that trail beneath the bell, sometimes stretching longer than the jellyfish itself. They don't snap forward, they don't lash out, they simply hang there, drifting, soft, slow, waiting. When a fish swims too close, nothing dramatic happens. There's no strike, no sting, no sudden burst of speed. The jellyfish doesn't even seem to react at first. It continues drifting, as if unaware. Then the arms begin to move, not quickly, not aggressively. They fold inward with the patience of gravity. Like bed sheets slowly sliding off a mattress, by the time the prey realizes something is wrong, it's already inside. The jellyfish doesn't grab its victim, it envelops it. The oral arms wrap completely around the fish, sealing it inside layers of living fabric. Light disappears. Water movement stops. The prey is pressed gently but firmly against the jelly's body, unable to orient itself, unable to escape. There is no pain signal, no venom flooding the nervous system, just pressure. Soft at first, then absolute, and while the prey is still alive, digestion begins. Enzymes are released directly onto the trapped animal, breaking down tissue on contact. Nutrients are absorbed straight through the surface of the oral arms. There's no single killing blow. No moment where it's over. The fish is slowly dissolved, cell by cell, inside a living blanket. This is why scientists sometimes describe Stygiomedusa gigantea as a living shroud. It doesn't hunt like an animal with weapons. It hunts like a suffocation, a drifting, velvet-lined nightmare that kills by embracing you until there's nothing left to breathe. There's something even more unsettling than how the giant phantom jelly kills. It's the fact that, for most of its life, it's effectively invisible. At first, its appearance doesn't make sense. Stygiomedusa gigantea is a deep crimson red, rich, saturated, almost glowing in the footage we've captured. And that sounds like the worst possible color choice for an animal living thousands of meters below the surface. There is no sunlight down there, no color, just pressure and darkness. So why would something evolve to be red? The answer isn't biology, it's physics. As light travels through water, different wavelengths are absorbed at different depths. Reds disappear first. Within just a few dozen meters, red light is gone completely. Keep going deeper, and orange vanishes. Then yellow, then green. By the time you reach the midnight zone, only blue remains. And eventually, even that fades. So when something is red in the deep ocean, it doesn't look red. It looks black, perfectly black. By the time you reach the depths where the giant phantom jelly lives, red is no longer a color. It's camouflage. That massive bell. Those flowing oral arms. To the eyes of most fish and deep-sea animals, they don't glow. They don't stand out. They don't create contrast against the water around them. They vanish. The giant phantom jelly isn't brightly colored in its world, it's wearing an invisibility cloak. A 10-meter wide animal dissolving into the darkness, leaving no outline, no warning, no shape to avoid. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Because you don't see it coming. You don't notice it drifting towards you. You don't watch it approach from a distance. The first thing you experience isn't sight at all. It's the water going still. Light disappears. Currents change. And suddenly, something soft touches you from every direction at once. You don't get attacked, you get erased. For something so massive, the giant phantom jelly lives a strangely lonely existence. It drifts through a place known as the Midnight Zone, between 1,000 and 4,000 meters below the surface. Down here, sunlight never reaches. There are no plants, no colors, no landmarks. Just endless black water and crushing pressure pressing in from every direction. Most animals in the deep sea cling to the seafloor or stay within a narrow vertical range. But this jelly has no territory, no den, no home. It simply wanders. That isolation is one reason we've seen it so rarely. In more than a century of deep sea exploration, humans have encountered Stygiomedusa gigantea fewer than 120 times. Not because it's hiding, but because the ocean is vast beyond comprehension. And this creature moves slowly, silently, through a three-dimensional void with no predictable path. Most sightings are brief. A research sub's lights catch a flash of red drifting just beyond the beam. A shape with no clear front or back, no eyes reflecting light, no reaction. Then it fades away into darkness, leaving behind nothing but grainy footage and unanswered questions. But occasionally, something even stranger appears. On a handful of encounters, scientists have noticed a small fish swimming calmly inside the bell of the jellyfish. A deep-sea brachyla hovering within the ghost itself, completely unharmed. While every other creature keeps its distance, this fish lives inside the monster. For the brachyla, the jelly is shelter. Predators avoid it. Nothing wants to approach a drifting shroud in the dark. Inside the bell, the fish finds protection in one of the most hostile environments on Earth. And for the jelly, the fish is nothing. It isn't prey, it isn't a partner, it isn't hunted or helped, it's simply tolerated. A passenger inside a creature that doesn't recognize companionship, loyalty, or threat. That's what makes the giant phantom jelly so unsettling. It isn't aggressive, it isn't curious, it doesn't stalk or chase, it doesn't defend territory or seek others of its kind. It just exists. A silent ghost drifting through eternal night, occasionally intersecting with other life by accident. And most of the time, it is completely alone. When people imagine monsters of the ocean, they think of teeth, jaws snapping, speed, violence. But the giant phantom jelly doesn't need any of that. It has no eyes to lock onto you, no venom to shut your body down, no chase, no strike. It simply drifts. A massive, invisible shape moving silently through the dark, waiting for something smaller to make a mistake. And when that happens, there's no attack. Just a slow, suffocating embrace as soft velvet arms wrap around you like bed sheets and don't let go. That's what makes it terrifying. In the deepest parts of the ocean, evolution didn't build monsters out of aggression. It built them out of patience, out of softness, out of silence. The giant phantom jelly isn't a predator in the way we understand predators. It's more like a natural hazard, a living piece of the abyss itself. You don't fight it, you don't see it coming. You simply disappear into it. And the worst part? This creature isn't a myth. It isn't fiction. It's real. It's been filmed. And right now, somewhere in the Midnight Zone, it's drifting through black water where red becomes invisible. A Dementor of the deep, not hunting, just waiting.